about is the first impressions. Obviously last week the first impressions with the unboxing was literally just superficial. It was exactly what I thought side by side with the Luna Mini, which is what I used to be using, the grey one that I've had in previous videos. And that didn't really say too much about exactly what it would actually be like using. Obviously I read the adverts and the things online which was saying that it was, you know, twice as powerful, it had more bristles, it was thicker, it was bigger, but actually this time it was really the benefit of me using it for that 1 week and seeing exactly how it is. So the first and genuine impressions that I've got from it is stronger, it is really powerful. The second that I used it for the first time, I could tell the first time I used it, actually I felt like it was a bit too strong. It's just because I'm used to the Luna Mini, but it was something that I've gotten used to and I've actually really liked with it. The bristles definitely are bigger, and like I said in the first video that I did with it, is that the silicone nubs, instead of being spherical and round like in the Luna Mini, they are actually slanted. So this is supposedly better for oily skin. I did say in the first video, which I did correct, saying that it was probably best for combination skin. Now after looking more into it, it's definitely best for oily skin. Now personally I wouldn't find that I've got that oily skin. I've definitely got combination skin, but at different times of the year, say definitely around summer, that I'll slide more on the oilier side of combination spectrum skin. So I would say for that reason, when I first started using it, I was thinking, well, what's this actually going to do to my skin? Because my skin isn't particularly too oily now. Is this going to dry it out too much? Is this going to kind of throw my skin totally off balance? And actually it didn't, and it really did mattify it. It did feel different using it. If you're used to the Luna Mini or the Luna, whichever model you're used to with the spherical silicone nubs on, it will feel different, particularly whenever you will do the movement from your nose upwards. With this, I felt like I kind of had to turn it on the side and go like that. I felt like that dragged the skin up in a nicer motion, or going exactly like that. Obviously with the spherical nubs, you could kind of just go whichever way and it would be quite forgiving on the skin. This can drag if you don't use it in the right direction. So it's really just using it in the way that kind of works best for you and just trial and error. What else? I definitely say the size helps. Obviously I haven't particularly got the biggest hands in the world, but I find this one way more comfortable to hold. That is what I said in the video as well, but definitely from using it day and night every single day since, I've really preferred having it. You could totally cup it into your hand and either using it in the bath or the sink, it was just more comfortable. That's just a superficial kind of benefit. You know, other people with smaller hands, perhaps maybe the Luna Mini would be best for you, but honestly I think even with smaller hands, I've seen some friends and family, I've just seen what it looks like in their hands, and even ones with much smaller hands, it still looks like a nice size for it. So I think in that terms, bigger is better in this term anyway. Okay, so the next one that I will say is that the back is something which is totally exclusive to the Luna 2 and also the Luna before, but this is a bit more powerful. This is the anti-aging mode area. So using the side kind of softer silicone panel, this is the way that after shaving, especially for men, and after cleansing, you will put on your moisturizer, your serum, any kind of cream directly onto the skin, lightly massage it in, but then this is really going to drive it down into the skin and relax the muscles. So the way that they kind of propose that you use it in the best way is by putting this side exactly on, say, laughing lines, near your nasal folds, near your eyes here, and your center of forehead, just to relax. And at first it felt really weird doing it. On the Luna Mini that I used to have, I did use that side, but obviously the back of it with a lower frequency, which is the second setting on this. But because it never had the flat back, it always felt a little strange that I was using it that way. It's definitely nicer this kind of way. I feel like it pushes the product more into the skin. I feel like it absorbs it better. I did actually say in the impressions video that I definitely can tell when you put serums and creams into your skin with your fingers that it definitely absorbs somewhat into the skin there. So there's always kind of a part of wastage with it. And you realize how long it takes for a cream to actually absorb into your skin when you're not rubbing it in. And if you ever wanted to kind of try that method without obviously having a Luna, put on some either silicone gloves or rubber gloves and then rub in, obviously soft ones, rub in your serums or creams, and you'll see how much longer it takes without having the warmth and absorptions from your finger. And that's kind of like the notion that you get using this. It felt weird at first, but I liked the fact that, you know, the product was still staying there and it had to take more time to absorb in, because everything that I pumped onto my skin was going to go in and nowhere else. And then all it took was just a wipe down, and then it was perfect for the next morning and the day after. So yeah, to be honest, it's all benefits. It's more powerful. It's made my skin more matted. Obviously I wear skincare products and makeup, but even on days that I haven't, which has been many this week, my skin looked totally great. It was clear, it was comfortable. But one thing that I will recommend when you're using this one over any of the other Lunas is that you need to change up what kind of creams and cleansers you use with it. Personally, that's what I have found as the biggest difference with it. I felt like the smaller Luna Mini was better with gels because it would froth a lot, and with the spherical nubs it worked better on the skin with more moussey gels and also cream cleansers. But this is where this one excels way better with something super fatty, super rich, very quite greasy in a weird way, because this is going to combat oily skin, so you can afford to have something a bit richer because this is really going to cleanse and take that layer off. And I'm not throwing shade to Clarins, but this is just an example of a foaming one that I would say is really great for washing your skin, but I wouldn't recommend using it with FOREOs. That was the one bit that I loved with FOREO, is that whenever you did put a foaming one, it would mousse up so much that it was kind of like the cool novelty of having it. But now actually, from using it for so long, you get over it, and it's actually just better for your skin to use something which is more like a cream cleanser. So this is the one that I would recommend. It's the Nip and Fab Cleansing Cream, and it's called the Deep Cleansing Fix, and it's literally just a purifying cream. And it's just got eucalyptus oil. It's not the highest quality cleanser in the world. It's pretty cheap. You can get it from Superdrug for like $3.99 half price. It's usually kind of like £8 or £9, but you get a lot of it. It's 300 ml. And it works brilliantly with it. And what's nice about it is with these machines, you're spending a lot of money with it. So whenever you're cleansing, if you've ever got the time to spend longer with it, you're gonna do it. So if you're in the bath or you're in the shower or you just want to really kind of treat with your skin, you want kind of like a product which has kind of like massage oil qualities, that it doesn't just absorb into the skin straight away, and you're able to go, you know, 2 minutes and even clicking it again and doing it twice all over the skin to really cleanse and kind of use it without using too much product. It literally just sticks on the skin. It sort of feels like aqueous cream. So if you've ever used that before, it's got that really greasy emollient kind of texture. And I think with this, it's brilliant. Only tip is that it is a pain to clean out. So you need to really get in there and scrub it out with some soap, which you should be doing anyway, but I mean, sometimes you can just be lazy and leave it, but just make sure that you're cleaning it really well. Even with an old toothbrush or something would be really good. This is really high grade silicone, so you're not going to damage it in any way. But what I would recommend is not using any products with clay or any exfoliating beads with it, because that could start to deteriorate the coating on the silicone and just the kind of overall integrity of it. So yeah, without me babbling on too much, that's genuinely, personally, what I think is the main benefits. I would make the jump from the Luna Mini to this, and I'm going to keep using this Luna 2 for men. I love it. First, obviously, like I said before, I had my worries that my skin wasn't particularly too oily, and I'm thinking, you know, if this is really tailored for someone with oily skin, what is this going to do to my skin? It's just made it more mattified, it's made it more comfortable, it's cleansed way harder, it's brilliant for shaving before. It really softens the stubble up, so when you will shave, it will come off so much easier. And yeah, it's brilliant. And the size, it's probably one of my favourite things. It's just so much more comfier to use, and the anti-aging mode, perhaps at my age I don't need to be worrying about that too much, but even just for the fact that it's really relaxing and kind of calming and something a little different that you can do, it's brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you guys are ever interested in getting one, all the links are in the bottom description, and I've got videos for how to do clear skin, my review of, with also including the Luna Mini, and down below as well the unboxing of this one with a side-by-side comparison. So if you are kind of in between of what kind of size you're wanting, that's a good way to sort of see side-by-side exactly what they look like. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next